There's a whole category of content online dedicated to deconstruction, breaking down which big accounts went viral and why, analyzing which videos hit 1 million views and how, then telling you, follow this formula and you can do it too. Behind all of it is an assumption nobody ever states out loud. Every success can be reverse engineered. Reverse engineering makes sense when applied to machines. You buy an electronic device, take it apart, study the internal structure, understand what each component does and how they relate, then replicate it. This has happened countless times in industry. It works because machines are mechanical. The relationships between parts are fixed, fully extractable. You disassemble it and everything is still there, just separated, but some things don't work this way. In certain things, the relationship between parts isn't mechanical, it's organic. Take it apart and every piece is accounted for, but whatever made it what it was disappears in the process of taking it apart. Dissect a flower, and you get petals, stamens, stem, leaves. You don't get the flower. A person is that kind of thing. When you deconstruct someone's account, what are you actually taking apart? You're extracting their topic choices, their structure, their opening techniques, their voice. All of that can be pulled out, listed, replicated, but what you can't extract is why they say what they say. What was actually happening inside them when they said it. How many years of confusion and accumulation sit behind that topic? What it felt like the day something finally clicked. The trust between them and their readers, hard to name, but real. None of that is in the account. The account is just where it spills over. You've replicated the trace, but the thing that left the trace isn't in there. Occasionally someone copies successfully, but usually it's because they already had that thing inside them. An imitation was just the process of finding themselves. The imitation itself wasn't what worked, but the cost of imitation isn't simply diminished results. When you make content inside someone else's shell, you're also spending down something else, your sensitivity to your own real voice. At first you can still tell which parts are yours and which are borrowed. But given enough time, that boundary blurs. You get more and more fluent at speaking in someone else's way, and less certain about who's in there once the shell comes off and what they actually want to say. This isn't a metaphor. It's something that genuinely happens when a person speaks in a voice that isn't theirs for long enough. The distance between them and their own actual thoughts grows slowly without their noticing. Many people say that being yourself is how you differentiate, how you build real influence. That's not wrong, but it's too strategic, as if being yourself were a clever choice, a carefully weighed option that turns out to be the higher yield approach. The reality is simpler than that. Being yourself is the path of least resistance. Because there's nothing to maintain, you don't have to remember who you're playing. You don't have to keep yourself consistent. You'll never hit a moment where you suddenly don't know what to say next. You're just you saying what you actually want to say. Imitation isn't just the wrong direction. It's working against a fundamental fact. You are singular, not as an advantage, as a fact. No one is better at being you than you are. The moment you start imitating someone else, you're spending energy fighting that fact. The longer you spend it, the more exhausted you become. So back to those deconstruction accounts. What they teach isn't useless. Topic logic, structural approaches, craft techniques, these are tools, and tools can be learned. But tools only become genuinely useful once you know what you want to say. Before that, what you need isn't more deconstruction. It's to get quiet and listen for what you actually want to say. That's not something you can find in anyone else's account.